Hello, everybody. All right, I'm going to try to set the mood while we get people into the chat. Now, I've tried to do this before and failed, but I'm going to try again. I've done some Googling. Can you hear this? Yay! So fucking French, man. Yes. Because we're leaning in. We're leaning in. We're embracing this French summer. We're going to be doing, all right? I mean, if it was truly French, we'd all have vacation for the next month. So we're Americanizing this a bit. We work a lot, but we need to look forward to fun things like knit-alongs. So I thought we'd do a little Sidney Bechet. He was not French, but he did write this perfect song, which is kind of quintessentially French. It's what I think, the song that I think of when I think of France. He lived in France for many years. The French loved him. He even shot a guy. They kicked him out for a very short amount of time before they let him back in. So how French is that? So welcome. Well, thank you for letting me set the mood. We'll take a pause on old Sidney Bechet here. And welcome. We are kicking off our August knit along. We are going to be knitting along to Les Bandana. You like my French accent? It's actually the same accent that I use for every other language. Just that's the one I have. But we are going to be doing this fun new little bandana project for August because it's hot and it's hard to kind of get it up to knit when it is this hot out. But just a little project to grab and go is what we need. Something a little easy, a little, so we can be looking at the beautiful, stunning vista. We can be looking at the beautiful waves crashing on the beach. We can take it on our vacation. All of these, just to have a little something to grab and go is what we're looking for. And this little project also is looking ahead at the cooler weather coming up because I guess apparently it's a very French thing to need a tiny scarf all the time. So I generally am, into very, very large scarves as a Midwesterner. We do everything a lot bigger. We need bigger things also. But hey, we did the Sophie scarf knit along over the winter. That was super fun. And Maya is exactly right. There is nothing stopping anyone from making this thing as big as you want it to be. So we're doing this thing. I got started on mine this morning in the true essence of the knit along. I waited until this morning. You can tell that I waited until this morning because I have this much. It's just a tiny, tiny bit. I just wanted to get her started and see what's going on with this little repeat. Yeah, and I'm into this. Yeah, Maya said she's casting on right now. I know a few of you got a little bit of a head start. We're going to say that that's totally fine. Yeah, thank you, Megan. I really like this yarn too. This is a special skein because we're using up our special skeins. There's no sense in holding on to this. This is a skein of yarn that I got on a trip to the Hudson Valley with some very special girlfriends of mine. We went to Rhinebeck. We hit a couple places. I bought this. This is a Barnyard Knits skein. There's my little Barnyard Knits. It's very cute. This is called Winterberry. It is really beautiful. And I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to knit things and make things that go with yellow and not just make everything yellow. So I thought that this beautiful, like greeny situation would go really well with my yellow jackets. I'm thinking I have a very bright yellow jean jacket that I wear a lot. This would pair really nicely with that. Now, my plan right now is to just knit myself out of yarn. So however big it's going to get that big. And then I'm going to, and that's going to be half of this skein. And then I'm going to decrease. And that's how big it's going to be. And I even hesitate to tell you all that because I just feel myself changing my mind about my entire plans. That's my plan right now, I will say. I'm here. I have this much yarn. I am going to maybe knit myself out of yarn to have a nice size little bandana and just make it one color. Do I reserve the right to completely change my mind? You know I do, because who knows what's going to happen. Yellow goes really well with this, and you know what? I have a lot of yellow yarn. So we'll see if a little bit of yellow works its way into this bandana. But right now, that's my plan. We'll see what happens. So, you know, yeah, some cute little stripes. We've got a lot of options. And on that note, I made a little presentation. Now, I am loving that I got to play some music for you all. That tack worked really well. I feel like I might be pressing my luck to show you my presentation about this. But so I'm going to try to share my screen and so you guys can see my little presentation about our little bandana knit along. We'll see if this works, okay? Oh my God. I think it worked, you guys. Yay. Oh, so exciting. All right. So look at how French this is. I really like this because it is both pink and yellow and French. It's kind of hard to do that, you guys. It's kind of hard to bring in my French colors and the pink and the yellow, which I think that, you know, La Vie Aimee is kind of all about these bright, beautiful, saturated pinks and yellows, which we love. Now, please take note that this opening page of my presentation is tastefully French. I will say that I started off tastefully French. That's not where this presentation ended up. Please, you're just going along with me on this one, right? We're just doing this thing. All right. So this little pattern is a recipe style pattern. Now, what Aimee means by that is you get to do whatever you want with this little thing. All right. So we have here pictured a beautiful kind of multicolor, like subtly multicolor skein here in one color. Very beautiful, right? We love that. It's just a beautiful blank canvas. All right. And then we've got a little bit of some striping going on here. Now, the pattern tells us that this is about 20 rows of 2 different colors. And that's why you get those big, nice stripes. It looks great also. Yeah, Maya, distastefully French. Right? I've got some French colored macarons. All right. You know, again, I'm gonna put this in the tasteful pile for now. All right, for now. So with a recipe style pattern, you get to do whatever the hell you want to, which means that you can customize this to your heart's content. Now, I went on Ravelry and I was grabbing some pictures of some people who were having a lot of fun with this pattern. Okay. This first one here, this is Stash Busting Wild Stripes. There's no really rhyme or reason to this one. She is just having fun with her palette, right? And of course, we love this palette. It is a beautiful soft pink. It is a beautiful mustardy yellow. It is a couple different grays and a little bit of white, right? And it seems like she's just, when she wants to change colors, changing colors. And I love that, right? The freedom of this is really, really fun. So you can just put a bunch of your odds and ends together and stash bust like this and just kind of have fun with it. Not worry about if it's matching on both sides. It does not need to be symmetrical. It can just be fun. Okay. I really liked this one too. This one clearly is like this pastel fadey dream. Okay, so I think Maya shared the other day that she has a collection of mini skeins that she's going to be using for hers. It's super fun, right? So starting with one shade, one like a starting point, and then fading subtly over to the other side of this is so fun. It would be like really subtle, keep you on your toes. You get to change a lot. You can do a fade in the way that this Ravelry user did the fade with it, which is just kind of striping and changing stripe colors gradually from one end to the other. You can do a fade in the way that Andrea Mowry tells us to always do a fade, right? Where we've got 4 rows of one color, and then you start bringing in more of the second color by striping more of the new color and less of the color that you started off with. All right, world's kind of your oyster here. And then this Ravelry user down here, she has 2 colors that she had fun kind of striping together. Okay, now this too is not perfectly symmetrical. It looks like she just changed colors whenever she wanted to. She kind of blended them together at one side and then kept using more and more of one of the colors and then kind of transitioned on the other side. And this looks really fun too. Okay. Please note that my C of my customize is wearing a beret. Yes, it is, because that little C is a French C, obviously. So good. All right. More options for this, right? I'm kind of obsessed with this perfect fadey situation that this Ravelry user used. All right. Now, the math involved in doing this is dramatic and maybe a little bit more dramatic than you might want to do for a just pick up and go kind of a project for the beach. But this is stunning. And if you think about this wrapped around yourself, having that green in the front with your 2 bright pink ends wrapped around and tied in the front of this thing, oh my gosh, that is going to be so beautiful. And Intarsia. Now, this is a personal edit that I put in here. Fun question mark with Intarsia. Yeah, Intarsia for me, not fun. Not fun. But it could be fun for someone. That someone, again, is not me. Am I looking at this really cute bandana and thinking, wow, I love that. That's gorgeous. Yes, I am. Am I thinking, wow, I want to do that? Fuck no, I'm not thinking that. God, not fun for me. Might be fun for you. Not fun for me. All right, fun question mark. Also, this is French, right? All right, so tips. Please watch this French bulldog. Look carefully at these tips. All right, you've got to have the tips. Weigh your yarn as you go. I kind of like this as like an old-fashioned sing-along, like Disney sing-along songs. Remember those? Where the ball would jump and help you sing. Weigh your yarn as you go. Follow the bouncing ball. Exactly. If you don't really know what your plan is, but you want it to be symmetrical, if you weigh your skein, you will not have any surprises. Okay. Remember, surprises in knitting, very bad, very bad. So if you want to work yourself out of yarn, like I was talking about doing for me, I would weigh my skein at the beginning. I would increase up to half of my weight, and then I would decrease down, and I would know that I would not run out of yarn. All right. If you're trying to get a perfect fade, weighing how much yarn you use is going to make sure that you have the same color on the other side. Okay. So that kitchen scale is going to really come in handy. Keep your I-cord loose. Okay. Now, this little guy, if you haven't cast this on yet, it's got an applied I-cord as you go. And the hardest thing about knitting this is going to be to make sure that those slipped stitches to create this a little I-cord applied edge do not tighten up on you. It's going to make it really hard to block out your bandana to its truest, biggest form if those I-cord stitches get too tight. So think loose thoughts, keep stretching those stitches out as you go. You'll get the hang of it, but just be aware of it. All right. And the number one thing we want to remember for our bandana knit along is to have fun with it. All right. I myself am reminding myself to have fun with this. Make a plan. I've got a plan. But if you want to mix it up, do it. Okay. Symmetry does not have to be a thing we do for this. Okay. We get to do whatever we want to. And if you get sick of the color that you're using, mix it up. Mix it up. Okay. I honestly cannot believe that I was able to play theme music and also share my screen. Is it possible that Mighty Networks is aligning with my hopes and dreams? Is this an August miracle? I hope we continue this into for the rest of our lives. Honestly, I love this. I love this. So hopefully that is giving you some inspiration, getting you excited to cast on this little project, because we know how you all are, right? You're setting a lot of goals for finishing up your sweaters. You're setting a lot of goals to wipe your work in progresses out, right? We're not here for that. We're here to just wake up every day and say, what do I want to do? I think I want to cast out a new project. And I'm not even trying to sell you yarn, right? That's just how I feel about it. That is just going to bring me a lot of joy. All right. Now, Elle, I want to follow up with our good friend Elle, because Elle, we talked Elle into the Sophie scarf, and she fell in love with this lifestyle. She said she wasn't going to do it, and she did it, and she loved it. And this very morning, when I was talking about kicking off this knit along in the party, she said, I'm sitting out of this one. So keep an eye on Elle. And I feel like she won't be alone. I feel like a lot of you are like, I'm going to skip this one. It's not, Elle just popped up that no one is shocked. She will be stash diving for this one. Yes, girl. Yes, you owe it to your stash to join us. Okay, you owe it to your stash. I feel the pull of this. All right. When I got that first email from La Vie and me about this little thing, I was like, oh, that's cute. And then I was like, you know what? It just is going to wiggle its little earworm into my brain. And I just kept thinking about it. And I was like, I need one of these. I think it's really cute. And I'm really excited to have a small travel project. For instance, tomorrow night, I am going to Soldier Field to watch Chelsea Football Club play somebody. And I'm just going to have to sit there for many hours, not watching Beyonce at Soldier Field, but instead watching football. Not my favorite kind of football, the other kind of football. So I'm going to be putting this in my clear stadium approved bag and look for a work in progress picture from the stadium tomorrow night, because it's happening. It's going to be awesome. All right. So it's just really nice. It's just really nice. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Elle's saying she wore the shit out of her DRK everyday cowl. And so this little bandana, it's a perfect little seasonal thing. And it's going to come up. It's going to come up, Elle. I think you're going to get a kick out of it. So Jane, who, as we know, if you've been coming to our knit nights every other Tuesday night for Best Fest, you know that we're having a J versus J challenge. Jane versus Jewel. All right. Jane asks, can you comment on whether this project is worth disrupting my Best Fest progress? You mentioned it does not count as a best. Crying, laughing emoji. Jane, I am sensing some stress levels coming from this J versus J Best Fest challenge. All right. I hate that for you. I hate to think about you just stressing over your vests. Okay. That's not what we're here for. All right. Tonight, we are going to get a ruling from Judge Julie at Knit Night as to see if the bandana counts as a vest. I'm not super hopeful, but Julie does come in and surprise me every once in a while. So Jane, if you can make it tonight, maybe you can make a plea. If you cannot make it tonight, we will report back tomorrow. All right. We will report back tomorrow. I am not Judge Julie. I'm Judge Allison. I say everything goes, but I'm not here to. Jane says she will be here. Good. We'll see you tonight. We'll make a plea to Judge Julie to see if this is a best for your neck. See, Megan's already coming up in the chat with some solutions. What if you tie it around your boobs like a bandana top? I feel like tonight we're going to need a visual of this. So if we have a Sophie scarf handy and we tie it around ourselves and that looks like a really cute little like bandeau top or something, I feel like we can really sell Julie on it. All right. So somebody make a note and we will bring the evidence to the judge and see if we can make this happen. All right. I like it. I like where everybody's heads are at with this. All right. Regardless if it is a best or not, it is going to be a really fun little project. And I hope you are planning on knitting along with us. Now, I thought it would be fun to have some fabulous prizes for people who participate in this knit along. So I am collecting those. There'll be a couple. There'll be me, Heavy. I've got some stuff. I've got some good stuff that you might be interested in. So if you are planning on participating, make sure you continue to use the bandana knit along hashtag, share your progress on the party, and definitely finish this up by September 1st so that we can see it. We can get more motivated. We can add these to our fall knitting plans, and also so you can qualify for some fabulous prizes. All right. This is a perfect timing too, because you may have only sleeves left and you don't want to knit those sleeves before Sleeve-tember because they won't count. All right. We're just gearing up for Sleeve-tember when things really pop off around here. Okay, so I've been getting a couple questions about Sleeve-tember popping up. Y'all are anxious about Sleeve-tember. I'm into it. I also am excited about Sleeve-tember. I think it's going to be great. So we are going to be posting Sleeve-tember razzle dazzle probably next week. All right, so keep an eye out for that. Sleeve-tember, as you might remember from last year, is we're just knitting sleeves. We're just knitting sleeves. I know you've got a whole pile. I know you've got a bag filled with half finished sweaters that just need sleeves. So get ready. Okay. And if you want to add a little something to your calendar, just like last year, we will be meeting every Tuesday night in September to push sleeve agenda. All right. This is big sleeve coming at you. All right. So mark your calendars. Every single Tuesday in September, we're going to be sleeving. But for now, we'll take a break. Bring yourself to some simpler times. look at this tiny little project on these tiny little needles. These were the only needles I could find. It's going to be fine for now. It's going to freak out the people at Soldier Field a lot less if I have this tiny needle. And I will say too, needle size is completely up to you for this too. The pattern is written for sport weight, and I think size 5 needles. This is a very fingering weight yarn. So I went down to a size 4. I'm liking the fabric. It's loose, but I love a fingering weight yarn on a size 4. So that's what I've decided to do for my little guy. So just know, you know, this much of the start of your bandana can be your swatch here. If you get to this high and you don't like the fabric, change your needle size. All right. I love it. And just keep going, because who cares, right? We're not trying to get anything. We're not trying to resize this whole thing. We're just going up and down needle sizes. It's no big deal. All right. Maya says that she's in a fingering weight yarn and she's on 5s and she's enjoying it. So yeah, totally up to you what you want to do. Okay. Now I had a little inkling in my heart, because I could only find size 3 needles for some reason. And I was like, I could just use size 3s. And then I was like, find your 4s. You know how many size 4 needles you have in this house, Allison? Find some 4s. So find the needle you want. Don't just settle. I do that all the time. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have approximately 37,000 needles in this house. I can do it. And I did. And I'm very happy with this. All right. So I can't wait to see the start of your bandanas. I can't wait to hear about your creativity and hear about your plans. And then also hear about when you change your plans, because that's what we're doing. That's the vibes we're going for this. All right. So if you have a plan, if you have some yarn, if you've got this much of a start, take a picture and post it in the Knit Alongs forum on the party. We want to see it. Okay. We want to see it coming together. Tell us everything. You got a little sketch that you put together with your plan. I love it. If you're just going on vibes, I love that too. We want to see it. We want to motivate everyone to join us because this is going to be really fun. Okay. Just imagine that there are more people like Elle out there with big stashes and not the inspiration to be able to dive into those stashes and start this perfect little knit along. And it's your job to help them to the right path. All right. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. All right. Let's see it. I can't wait to see it. And if you are free tonight, just like Jane and I were just saying, come hang out. Come hang out with us. We're doing knit night. It's not just me talking and reading the chat. It's everybody who wants to participate can come to knit night. Remember, if you don't want to talk, you just turn your video off and then we will not call on you. But if you have the start of a bandana or a vest, or a work in progress or anything, we want to see it. So 6:30 to 7:30 tonight, that is Central Time. Join us on the Zoom. Okay. We'd love to see you. All right, guys. I feel like I cannot believe how well this went. I was like, I really hope I'm not spending all this time on this presentation and not able to present my French masterpiece. So I'm really glad that worked. So yes, check. Hopefully we will see you tonight. Otherwise, take those pictures, upload those pictures. We want to see it. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. Thank you, Linda. Just gave me a standing ovation. I appreciate that. Have a great day, everybody. See you next time. Bye.